For Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPNNW.
Get ready to connect. ESPN Northwest Florida is thrilled to introduce the newest rock stars to the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Beach Chamber. Savitri, Southern FiberNet, The Pines at West Bay, Wenrick Insurance Agency, and Zook Dine-In, PA.
We're here to champion your success and connect you with this amazing community.
Congratulations from ESPN Northwest Florida.
And the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, reaching Bay County and beyond.
Powered by Panama City Toyota. Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub, gonna get you hot tub. I'm gonna make it wet. Say hot tub, rubber dub in the hot tub, rubber dub with me. Chuck in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me sweat.
Yeah.
Chuck in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Really make me wet.
Yeah.
Well. How about that?
I sure am glad you're here, Glenn.
I know.
Because they ain't going to pick on me today.
I know. I know it. Yesterday, I went home Monday. I had to put Band-Aids on where he kept cutting me. So
it was worse yesterday. You weren't even here. Hey, good morning. You know, I want everybody to say a little prayer for Wildcat. He's got to go do a little procedure, and we're praying everything works out great for him. He won't be with us tomorrow.
Just a reminder, spade and neuter your pets.
Well, it is nice that there's no longer a stigma against transitioning.
Anyway,
sign up for an NFL football team.
There you go.
Hey, everything's going to go good. Everything's going to be great.
Yeah, they'll fix them in me. My wife's having the meanness streak taken out of me.
I don't know if she can do that or not, but we're going to do the best they can.
Yeah.
Hey, before we get rolling, I do want to say happy birthday to a legend, truly a legend, Bo Schembechler. His birthday was yesterday. And I encourage you, if you like college athletics, his book, Bo, is incredible. The stories he tells, his times with Woody Hayes, the 10-year war, his times with Coach Bryant, coaching for him in all-star games. It's really incredible. Great man, great university, great football coach. Bo Schembechler, the legend from Michigan. All right, Glenn, let's get rolling. What do you got for us today locally?
Well, first of all, I went home because you'd been besting us with your nature studies, and so I went home and looked up something. I found out that trees actually poop in the woods.
How do you think you get your pencils?
That's right. Number 2 pencils. How you think we get those? That's what I'm saying.
I saw your post.
I woke up early for this.
It's the number 2. I get it. That's correct.
So anyway, that is awesome. All right. Baseball last night. It was Arnold 8. It was Canelan there out of Illinois 2. And Mosley 4. Napierville, Illinois 0. North Bay Haven was defeated by Bluntstown 12-4, and it was South Walton 7, Holmes County 1. So Holmes County's got a real good team. So if they, to get one off of South Walton is pretty good. And it was Walton 2, Freeport 1. It was Sneed 7, Weewa 2, Marianna 11, Alta 0. I don't know where Brookstone is, but I'm sure they're from out of town or out of state. Brookstone 12, Shipley 0, Niceville 7, and Pace 0. That's baseball. And softball last night, it was Liberty County 4, Arnold 3.
Wow.
So, and then
that's surprising.
Bay High 15, Rickards 5. It was Holmes County 3, Bozeman 2, Wakulla 16, Weewa 0, Franklin County 16, Port St. Joe 0, and this was a slugfest. It was Chipley 16, Paxson 15 last night in softball. And then Walton beat Beechwood. They're out of Kentucky 12-1. South Walton 13, Freeport 2, Cottondale 9, Ponce de Leon 0. And those are softball. And, we have women's beach volleyball or girls beach volleyball going on. I didn't see any scores, but right now in the overall scores, Arnold is 3-7, Bay is 1-5, Mosley is 5-0, Bluntstown 5-2, Mariana 4-5, Destin 3-6, and Sneeds 1-3. So that's going on too. So this is the first year we had beach volleyball. So
I have my granddaughters listening. Laura and Leighton are listening, and you could educate them again with the tree story if you would like. So if they go to school, they can tell everybody how trees get here. He said that trees do number 2, and that's how we get pencils.
That's right. They poop in the woods, and how do you think we get number 2 pencils? That's
do they still use number 2 pencils?
Yes, that's the day. Everybody's always using number 2.
1, 2, 3. I tell you what, though. I don't know how to do all these tests on the computers because right in the middle of the test, if everything goes down, how do you know?
Really?
Yeah, you have to recover all.
Oh, I got to tell you what I did. All 3 of you, my friends in here this morning. Yesterday, Hale, Grace and Hale, she got in front of the entire school. All the first graders did their singing at Petronas yesterday. The place is packed out. I mean, people really support that school. She got out there in front of everybody, didn't bother. She wasn't nervous. She did an unbelievable job. So proud of her, and she can sing like
a star is born.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Leighton, Lorelei, they can sing, they can dance, great athletes, academics, unbelievable, and absolutely beautiful. They got the world. I mean, I just can't wait to see all the things they accomplished. Kind of like the Glenn Manley story.
Oh, gosh.
The American story. Glenn was a kid. Hey, have you seen Glenn's picture when he was little? Have you showed him?
When he was little.
It is the American
That's right.
It is the American story. It traces the whole history.
Yeah, just about. But when he was young, Glenn was a cutie, man.
Yeah.
You were a good-looking kid.
Oh, yeah.
You were.
Mr. Ears is what.
I'm all ears.
That's right.
Very well. I was so proud of my granddaughter, Laura, yesterday doing that singing. She did a great job. Unbelievable. All right, Glenn, you got anything else local you can share? I was surprised at Arnold softball. That team if you beat Arnold in softball, you're pretty good.
Liberty County's been good.
Who beat Chipley in baseball like that?
Chipley got beat by a team called Bridgestone.
They got to be good.
Brookstone, excuse me. I'll have to find out where they're from. I didn't get a chance to look those up last night, but anyway.
All right, I want to ask you guys something. Kirby made some comments. He's not the only one. It's not the only sport. It's not the only coach. But I heard a basketball coach, and it goes right on my mind. He was a big-time coach. Said it's not the same. It's not the same game. Everything has changed so quickly. I don't even know it anymore. Now, Kirby is like, this is not a good place for college athletics. It's not a good place for college football. He said agents are getting involved in everything. Parents are getting involved with everything. Not parents, but people,
right,
relatives that want a piece of the pie. He said, I'm all for players being paid. He said, but this thing has really gotten out of control. We got coaches at Syracuse. We got Deion, the legendary Deion Sanders at Colorado, that wanted to play each other in a spring football game to help create revenue. They were going to come together and do study hall together. They were going to practice together like the NFL. You had 2 NFL guys, 2 former NFL guys are now head coaches in college football. They wanted to do this, and it would make money. They would sell it out. There's no doubt about that. But then you got the other side, the other coaches, Nebraska, all these other different places. They don't even want to have spring football anymore because they're scared people are going to take their players away. You got the problems at Georgia where you have NIL, they're buying people cars, the speeding tickets. 22 players are involved with the program, have been arrested or something, dealing with speeding, dealing with automobiles and things like that. And did you see on the news that in Florida, what they're trying to do in Florida? If you get high rate speed, they want to be able to do more, punish you more, I think put you in jail longer, fine you, whatever it was.
Take away your vehicle.
Take away, is that what it was? Well,
that was one of them.
They had people talking about going 100 miles an hour and stuff like that. You don't survive crashes, or the people that you hit don't survive when you're speeding like that. But getting back to Georgia, what can Georgia do? What can Kirby do to solve the problems at Georgia when you got 16, 17, well, not 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old players, never had money, cars being given to them? They're happening at other universities, but Georgia's such a big powerhouse that it gets in the main media all the time. What can he do? Do y'all have any suggestions of what they can do to straighten out the mess of college athletics? Seriously, what can they do?
Make them take driver's ed, has he?
No, they've done that.
Say if they just have a need to do that, what he ought to do is just rent out a damn racetrack and let them go out there and have some fun.
But they, you know what I mean?
No,
like after class, there's nothing. I don't know what he can do. He's done everything he can do, but he's not really even talking about this. Texas, if you're a great player, you pick out whatever Lamborghini you want. Alabama's getting ready to give 40 scholarships.
What is it they always said about money? The more of it you get, the more you become what you are. So, I mean, if that's what you like, what young people like is thrill-seeking, they're bulletproof, all that stuff, and you give them a bunch of money, they're going to go get a bunch of things where they can be thrill-seekers and everything like that.
All right, let's go back. What do you two think about spring football? You got coaches that want to play other teams, which I think is a great idea. You had talked about moving the bowl season around.
I love moving the bowl season. I'm not sure I love the team versus team in the spring thing.
The only thing,
if they want money, that's another way to get people to come.
Here's the thing about that. The NCAA could have said, it's too late right now. Next year, we'll think about doing it next year.
Yeah.
Instead of going, no, we're just not going to do it, but without putting any thought into it. But, they only want to have power at certain things, So I don't know.
Are you
the deal.
for that? Or are you get rid of spring football?
Oklahoma and Oklahoma State wanted to play 3 in the spring, like 3 scrimmages.
Right.
They want to play one.
That was Gundy.
Back and forth.
But that's where I was going to say this is going. If it is about money,
like
which it is, why not have 2 seasons? Why not play all year round? What is the purpose of spring football? Get extra rep practice to learn and to build the team for the coming season.
Evaluate your players.
Yeah.
If that's what we want to do, we don't need these, games against each other. We just need to practice. But they need to remove that portal is what they need to do.
And that's what the coaches
The portal needs to exist, opening the day after the national championship game and lasting for, let's say, 6 weeks. And that's it. That's the only one there is all year, period, end of story.
I'm with you.
That would fix a lot of this trouble.
Who's running? Nobody's running the athletic department. Nobody's running college athletics. Why can't somebody step up? Well, I guess I know the reason for that. They're lawsuits.
Yeah.
But there's no leadership.
Well,
nobody knows what's going on.
I am no apologist for the NCAA, because if they had gotten ahead of this 20 years ago, and it would have taken about 20 years ago, then maybe a lot of this wouldn't be where it is. But I don't blame them in the situation they're in right now for basically doing nothing, because every time they go to court, they lose.
Yeah.
And there's literally nobody backing them up on this stuff, so why should they even bother?
I hope they do break off. There was an April Fool's. There was a big thing. I don't know if you saw it or not. Florida State will be playing the SEC starting next year. Breaking news, ESPN has confirmed, and it was all April's Fool. At first, when I first started looking, I said, "Oh my God!" And I started reading. I said, "Wait a minute, there's no way.
The one that got me was when they're going to move it back to Legion Field.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Like, man, you just tricked me on that one. I was like, what? I was going to.
They got it. Yeah, but I think what they're going to have to do in the Big Ten, the SEC, do break away. They're going to make their own rules. They're going to have the money to pay more players. And I just think, again, I've said it a million times, we're going to have to follow and do what the NFL does. And what they'll do there, I think once they have a union, I don't think you're going to see spring football anymore. I think it'll go away because of the players, the union. I think what you'll do, have what they have in the NFL, they'll have the fall camp will be longer. They might start practicing beginning of July. When's the NFL start? Beginning of July? Right after 4th of July?
What do you mean?
When they open camps?
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think you'll see something like that. And high school football, Glenn, we still need spring football and high school football.
I think you do.
See, I used to think that until they let you do whatever you want to do all summer.
Yeah, well, it just gives the kids a chance to put on the stuff and really... if you play somebody else for a quarter or a half, that's really, truly, you get them in a different situation.
When I was in high school, we always thought the purpose of spring football was for the football coaches to keep their athletes from playing other things. And I mean, it made sense.
The one great thing about it in the old days, it was great to get the players exposed to college coaches, because the college coaches, we're on the few states that still do it. So people would come down here and watch us practice, and it was great for high school players to get scholarships. They were getting evaluated all the time by the different schools throughout the country. But now that you're going against other college teams, the competition for scholarships are incredible.
Now, when they brought Huddle in, boy, I wish we'd had Huddle before, getting up early and driving all over the world, pick up a tape and all that.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we get back, we got the man, the one and only Coach Hudson, Bay High School. Bayhigh baseball, what's going on over there. And we do it on Wednesday because we know we got the legend himself, Mr. Bayhigh School, Glenn Manley, here on Wednesday. So we appreciate Glenn being here, and Brian. But I tell you what, let's start out with Beef O'Brady's Day. Pat does a wonderful job. Today's special, if you're over in Lynn Haven, you get out to Beef O'Brady's. 10 wings inside for $9.99. The best food you can get anywhere, but the customer service is even better. Pat's the great city commissioner of Lynn Haven, does an incredible job. One day, heck, who knows? One day he might be the mayor over there. I don't know. He is incredible. But he does a great job at Beef O'Brady's. 10 wings inside. They got the 10 for 10 going on all the time. March Madness is going over there. Final Four this weekend. Go watch all the games. SEC baseball, ACC baseball. You can watch them all right there at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. And once you get through doing that, go down and see David. Go to David Addison Jewelry Designer Jewelry. I'll get it right in a minute.
Sure
go see
will.
David Addison. Russ, Amber, they do an incredible job. Wildcat, take over.
If you're gonna thinking about you got that special somebody and you want to ask her to marry you, you're gonna need a special ring, not just
Think it
special
over though.
one of a kind. Yeah, really. One of a kind ring, and they can design it and create it and have it on her finger in about 10 days, and they can do it for less than anybody else. That's David Adamson Designer Jewelry, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
All you beautiful women out there, I'm telling you right, and when you're young, think about this. You get in high school, you go to the beach all the time, middle school, even younger. You're out in the sun, you're having a great time. You don't realize if you don't have that suntan on, you don't protect that skin now, you pay for it later. And especially the women. Two things that really got to concern themselves with: breast cancer, skin cancer. Now, we got an unbelievable Dr. Ward. He's got offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. If you don't think it looks right, it doesn't feel right, just something's not right about it. Don't put it off. Go make an appointment with Dr. Ward's office throughout the Panhandle of Florida. 5 minutes can save your life. If they catch it early, no problem. If it's melanoma, you got an issue, but they can get it if you get it early. Make sure you check yourself all the time. Call Dr. Ward, and we're talking everybody, male or female. And the summer season's getting here. It's going to be close to 90 degrees inland today and tomorrow. Unbelievable. We'll be right back. This is the Lorelei Hill Network on 104.3 ESPN Northwest.
Star is born.
She's a star.
Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straight away center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. A variety of mostly sunshine and slight fog this afternoon and evening with a high near 78 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Slight fog tonight, a gentle breeze and a temperature of 69. The same tomorrow around 78 with slight fog in the morning, but otherwise some sun. Mostly sunny Friday and very warm around 79. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Panama City, are you ready for March Madness and the best crawfish in town? Head to Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar. Watch 4 games at once, all tournament long, on the largest TV in Panama City. Wear your team gear and score big. Buy a drink, make a basket, win a free drink. Plus, unbeatable specials. 3 pounds of crawfish with corn and potatoes, just $25. Buckets of beer, $12.50. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Hi, folks. It's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right. She has over 20 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within a week, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into a new setting and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 50 years.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We hope you have a beautiful day today. Be safe. It's going to be beautiful outside. I hope it's just a wonderful, wonderful day for all of you. We want to thank all of you for listening like so many of you do, and we appreciate that, really do. Keep it right here all day, 104.3 ESPN Northwest. Or don't forget, we also cover the Orlando Magic, and this is the home of the Auburn Tiger basketball, the Final Four. We got it all right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Ron Mulvey, 11-1, does an incredible job in the inside drive, and David does the unbelievable job with the underdogs. And sometimes we got somebody that, not very loyal to us. It's on there. I don't want to mention anybody's name, Brian. But anyway.
Well, I'll be on Ryan, too, so take that.
You'll be on what?
I'll be on with Ryan, too.
Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
Today?
No, tomorrow.
I like
Are you filling in for him?
Yeah.
The Brian and Ryan show.
Brian and Ryan show.
I like that.
You have to
also, Atlanta Braves baseball.
Are you, he's going to be up with his mother-in-law. Are you going to do it 3 days?
No, I've just got it Thursday. They have other people covering the others.
All right, let's bring him on right now. This guy is incredible. Wherever he goes, it's not a matter if he's going to win, it's when he's going to win. Coach Hudson, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Good morning.
Good morning.
Game day. Game day. Let's go.
Talk about it. Who you got today? A big rival game, like Glenn said.
We do. We have Rutherford today at Bay High at 6 o'clock. And it's kind of like district week for us this week. We have 2 games this week, and we have North Bay Haven Thursday. So it's going to be Rutherford, North Bay Haven a week for us here. We're excited about that and ready to get back out and play. We haven't played since Friday, so you get 3 or 4 days off there. It's like Philly hadn't played in forever, so I think we'll be ready to go.
Well, heck, they ought to be ready, man. They have their legs up under them. They're not sore anymore. They're ready to go, buddy. Well, hey, is this, Glenn, did you say it's senior night?
I think it is. Is it senior night?
It's actually going to be tomorrow night, our senior night with North Bay Haven, our last home game.
All right. So
Can you believe that? We're down to the last. This is crazy.
I know.
It's unbelievable. I know. The MLB just started.
Yeah. Good God, man.
They just started. Here we are finishing up. We've got this week and next week is the end of our regular season, and then it's playoff time. So that's different.
Talk about it, man. Give us a little rundown. Give us a little scout report on Rutherford. I know he's done a great job. Coach Coffin's done a great job over there. They're getting better and better. What's the matchup going to be like?
Well, I'll tell you, Rutherford is they've played solid all year. They really have. And, if you look and see their schedule and who they played and how they've done, they're in every ball game. They're even, if they're getting beat out by, some of the, larger schools and that kind of thing, they're hanging in there. They've got a really good defense and they know how to play the game. Those kids know how to play. And, so they're getting they've got 3 guys on the mound that they've pretty much been going with for the most part, and all of those guys can throw strikes. 2 of them, I believe 2 of them are left-handers, but they throw strikes and they play the defense. And, when you do those 2 things right there, you're going to be in a lot of games. So they've been solid all year. They really have been. So they're going to be a good challenge for us today.
I tell you what, you're going to be a long game tonight. If that same pitcher was pitching the time I went over at Rutherford, 89 minutes between pitches was kind of tough.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it gets that. It gets that way. Sometimes I don't know how that happens, but sometimes pitchers have to slow down a little bit, and think about what they're doing. I guess so. I know what you're talking about.
So, no. Well, when I played, they just gave you the ball, and 1 finger, 2 fingers. We didn't have all those things on your wrist. You just played. So,
Coach Hudson, you had mentioned MLB starting, and I mean, this is going to be an out of left field kind of question, but obviously a lot of the talk in the early season has been the Yankees' new torpedo bats and kind of moving the wood further down the barrel, more into where the logo has been and all like that. So obviously everything filters down. Can you foresee that making its way down into college? And Yeah, obviously a little harder with the metal bats, but do you foresee that kind of making its way down anytime soon with the bats?
Well, yeah, I think it's really interesting with that wood bat. Obviously we're using aluminum, so I think it would be a different story for us. But I could see where that could start some people doing some research on, how they're making aluminum bats as well. And, so yeah, I can see that happening. I would assume the college, if this thing is what they think it is, obviously everybody's going to go to it. So it's interesting to see and to follow.
Yep.
I listened to the other day. They were talking torpedo bats.
Yeah,
what they found was a couple of the guys, and they were testing them. I'm actually surprised it hasn't happened before. As much money goes into research and all this stuff, right? What they found was guys were hitting the ball a little bit further down toward the handle than more on the the sweet spot of the bat, and so what they did is moved a little wood down, and it kind of tapers off at the top. And the Yankees, I think the Yankees hitting as many as they did had as much to say about the Brewers pitching, but nonetheless, but they certainly hit a lot of home runs, and it's the talk of the baseball world.
Now, Coach, you're too young for this, but if anybody ever played like back when I played the Nellie Fox bat, if you ever seen one of those, it's got a big barrel and it tapers down to where you can put your hands around it about 4 times, and it's got a big handle at the bottom. So you just almost hitting halfway up. So the meat part of the bat was right there closer to your hands.
Yeah.
And
probably a similar concept, but Cobb always choked up on the bat and guys like that. So I don't know.
But if you ever saw that thing, you would go like, "Oh, this is like a handle it's like a, I guess you'd call it an axe handle the way it looked." But
did you ever
have one? Did you ever see one of those, Coach?
The one you're talking about, whoever invented that is going to get wealthy, because good and well it's going to come down to college and high school, you'd think.
You would think so. I'm actually surprised it took that long. And I'm even further surprised that only one team figured it out. You would think so many people would be on this, but...
Coach, when you get into the equipment, do you, all these aluminum bats, they don't give those babies away. So is a team buy them, or you make them, they buy their own bats so they all feel great about having their own bat?
Yeah, they normally have their own bats. If we need bats, we'll buy some team bats. But for the most part, the guys all have their own bats that they like. They, some of them like more perimeter end weighted, and some of them, they're all different. So they all pretty much get their own bats.
Yeah, I walked into Almega the other day. It was like you're buying loaves of bread. I've never seen so many bats in my life. So, but
baseball's huge,
man. We had wooden bats, and we only had like 3 for the whole team. And if you broke one, you had to tape it together and put wood glue and everything else on it.
Let me ask you this. I was curious about it. Where do you think Bay High School has improved the most? Is it pitching? Is it batting? Is it stealing bases, defense? Where do you think you guys have gotten better than most at?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know. We've kind of, I think our pitching has really been, what's carried us the most. Defensively, we've got some young guys out there in the infield, and it's been a little bit of a struggle defensively for us out there with our infield a little bit. But, I think our pitching has really been what's carried us through. And, we've actually gotten a few issues with our pitching now. We've got a couple guys who are down. Grayson Gibson was our number 1, and he's out for the year. He's hurt his arm. He's kind of a recurring thing. It's an avulsion that he's done with his elbow. It's nothing that he won't come back from quickly, but he's got a little injury there going on, so he's going to be out for us. And then we have another pitcher also that was one of our main go-to guys who's out. So luckily, the depth of our staff is really going to show through now. We've got some other guys that are going to have to step up and pitch some big innings for us here down the stretch. So, and when you think you have a strength, and then baseball happens, and and then then somebody else has to step up. But that's the way this game goes. It's just kind of like football. It's a next man up deal, and there's struggles. You have slumps, and you have injuries, and you have all those kinds of things in baseball, and it's a mental thing. And so, we have to overcome that too. So, but we're still trying to get better every day and trying to improve on everything, all 3 aspects of the game.
Coach, sometimes if you pitch by committee, some guy goes 1 or 2 innings and you throw another guy in there. It kind of keeps them off balance. But sometimes, you either put out the fire or you throw kerosene on it. So, it's one of those deals.
Well, yep, that's right. And that's the thing too. A lot of times you get the relief. We played the other day. We had we played last Thursday. Played a team out of Tennessee, Sequoia team, and we split that game with two guys, and our freshman, comes in relief there, and Elliot Richter came in, and he throws 3 innings, strikes out 7, no hits, and just dominated there and in relief, so he's going to be one of the guys who's going to step up for us here, down the stretch. We believe in him. He's a super competitor on the mound, and he's going to step up for us in a big way. I'm sure he's really starting to throw the ball really well here toward the end. So, yeah, you got to have it, all the way through. You got to have the starters, you got to have relief, and now with the 3-game regionals, you need all your pitching even more than back when it was 1 game and move on.
Well, Coach, if you put on your ESPN shirt under your uniform, it'll help you coach a lot better. Because just remember, me and Coach Hale.
Well, I'll tell you what, that
We
thing,
got all the answers.
I keep that thing in its own closet over here. It's got its own
framed.
window.
You got it
Here in the window. It looks like the old mall when you walk by the hallway. It's just sitting there in the window.
Okay,
if it was red, I would, but it's a different color that I really can't be wearing under my uniform.
You guys, good luck to you tonight. Big rival game and the rest of the week, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday. Thank you so much, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, and see
I
you.
tell you what, I talked to my roommate in college last night, and he had taken an 18-day trip, him and his wife, having a great time. And I got to bust his butt about these electrical bikes, and he got to talking more and more. The more and more he talked about these electrical bikes, more and more I got kind of interested in them. And one thing he says so great about them, you do get your exercise, you can go so much further. They also have a place down in Gulf Shores by the Bama, Florida line. And they'll get on their electric bikes and drive all the way down to these restaurants and stuff, have a great time, pedal a little bit, and use the electric all the way back. He's maybe got me turned on these things, because I was more or less the old-fashioned type of thing, but these electric bikes are picking in big time. Steve's Bike Shop on 23rd Street. Steve sells new bikes, old bikes. He sells has a large selection of electric bikes. This is the up-and-coming thing. Go check it out. I went by the other day. I didn't even get in there. There were so many people there. It's on 23rd Street. Now, what I like about this, he repairs the old bikes. You can buy these cheap bikes and the tires are flat once you take it out of your car and put it on the street. You can get some great tires from him down there. You can get great electrical bikes. It's located 1924 West 23rd Street, Panama City, right across the street from Sam's. They've been serving Bay County since 1970. I didn't realize that. Since 1979. They do great jobs. Steve's Bike Shop. Go check it out.
I love the idea that it's a low-impact exercise.
Yeah, well,
and you're not looking at the same thing, the same gym, the same piece of equipment. I like that idea.
Yeah, and Coach Hale doesn't talk to you all the time.
Standing there holding the
The
towel.
electric bike thing, you still have to pedal it.
Standing there holding the towel like he's been sweating.
I'm looking at these electric bike things. Blaine got me about convinced to get one.
My wife has one. You can go along. Yeah, no, God be wreck. So my balance is not what it used to be. So, but anyway, those things.
I think we could do it.
Still, I'd have instead of a helmet, I'd have a whole body suit on. But anyway.
Coach, I was going to say something.
But Coach, you do the thing too is you still have to pedal, but it just assists you. Like if you're going up a hill and stuff, you can. It's great.
That's what he was telling me. I kind of like that. Also, today we hadn't even mentioned it today. J. Michael's Restaurant today and today only. The world famous J. Michael's Spaghetti. Go check it out. I guarantee you have a great time. We're going to be there today. Come by and say hello to us. Brian will be there. Glenn's going to be there. Donna will be there. I hope Carla's there to wait on us. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. The best seafood, the coldest beer, unbelievable fried shrimp. Go check it out. You'll love it. But today and today only, J. Michael, world famous J. Michael Spaghetti. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Without them, we'd be in bad shape. They are incredible. Locally owned. Locals taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. Jason started this company, and it's gone to the top, man. They've knocked out the ballpark. They're expanding throughout the Panhandle of Florida. They do incredible work. Give them a call. They'll come out and help you any way possible. If it breaks down in the middle of the night, give them a call. They're there for you. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward, where are you?
One of my 7.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
4-3. Got it.
Listen to the men.
The San Diego State Aztecs, for the first time, will head to the Final Four.
March Madness continues.
Miami is going to the Final Four.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
The two-handed slam. Yep.
Beach Pizza, formerly Marcy's Pizza, is back with more hours and more pizza. Beach Pizza has new owners and now open every day, 11 to 11. Pizza by the slice, whole pies, wings, pretzels, garlic knots, and more choice eats in East PCB. I finally tried a slice, and it was a thin crust, totes, cheesy slice of paradise. 8815 B Thomas Drive, online at beachpizzapcb.com. Call ahead, 850-775-4053.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
From the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's bring him on now. This guy is incredible. I have had 2 operations by him, and I'm telling you what, I swear by him, the guy's incredible. I had a bad experience down in Southwest Florida, and I don't know if it was in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, I can't remember what office it was in, and they numb you up. They come in there, cut a little bit, put you back outside with everybody else. You sit there all day, come back in. I think they were charging by the shots, and you get shot up again. Every time I've dealt with Dr. Ward, he's gotten it out the first time. The guy is incredible. I mean, I'm sure sometimes they have to go back twice, but he really is the best at what he does. Graduated from the University of Florida, highly intelligent, great coach, great person, the one and only Dr. Ward. Doc, how you doing, sir?
It is a great day. Before we get going, I got to give a shout out to Bart Walker and the women's basketball team at Northwest Florida State College, who won the junior college national championship in women's basketball. It is their 3rd national championship in 5 years, and it would be 4 out of 5 if they hadn't lost last year by a point in the last seconds.
That's incredible.
Well, that's because Gulf Coast doesn't have their girl coaching. No, but I tell you what, that is a great, I got to go out to Hutchinson, Kansas one time and watch that. That's some great basketball there. And our conference is considered one of the best in the nation.
Country, yeah.
And by the way, the Panhandle Conference is the best in the nation in every sport. Men's basketball, women's basketball, softball, baseball. I mean, they're competing for a team from the conference competing for the title every year.
All right.
All right, Doc. We got to talk about this real quick. The heat is coming. It's here. It's going to be close to 90 next couple days inland. Beautiful skies. Skin cancer, and especially women, breast cancer, skin cancer, they really got to take care of themselves and watch themselves. Guys, the same thing. People are out playing golf. Old people out playing golf, Glenn Manley. And then you got baseball players, people at the beach. What's the best way we can protect ourselves? Because everybody's out there, the shirts are off. And you told me earlier, it's not what you've done really lately. You're paying for what you did back when you were younger. Talk about that a little bit. What can we do to help ourselves? And what do we do if we have a problem?
Well, basically, just, try to keep covered when you can, especially from 10 to 2 when, the sun UV index is at the highest. And then, if you're not, wear sunscreen, reapply. And, you get the water towel off, you got to put it on again. It's pretty common sense kind of stuff. And then if you do notice anything on your skin that's changing size, shape, or color for no reason, you give us a holler at 233-3376. You can get in to see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Tafuniak Springs, Bonifay, or Mariana.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Doc, seriously, because is there any truth that some of these, you got all kind of different suntan lotion, does some of those kind cause cancer? I heard somebody say, well, that's just as bad. Give us, what's the real rundown on that?
No, man. That is definitely not true. The World Health Organization, which has about as much credibility as used car salesmen and other things like basically the World Health Organization's a bunch of progressive liberal idiots who don't do good science. And anyway, they try to claim that certain chemicals in sunscreen cause cancer. We know ultraviolet radiation is the #1 cause of skin cancer, and no. So it is far better to wear sunscreen than to not wear sunscreen. So it's kind of crazy. Some of it also comes from the tanning bed industry. It's kind of one of the reasons we got this whole RFK Jr. Maha movement, because the food industry has told people that seed oils aren't bad for you and that meat and butter and cheese is bad for you, and that has since been found to not be accurate. High fructose corn syrup, which is cheap and can increase margins of the food industry, is what's really bad for everyone. And of course, the money that goes behind spreading the lies is what is behind it all. So anyway,
good job. I'm glad to ask you about that suntan lotion, because I was like, man, should I put it on or not? Now I know. Thank you so much, sir. All right, I want
just an interesting statistic since you got me going. What % of studies funded by industry, be it pharma or food or anything, if it's funded by them, show the outcome that they hope to get from their study?
Yeah, 100%.
No doubt.
Over 90%, when in reality that number should be 50%.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. All right, let's jump into basketball. I want your opinion on this. We've had you got the odds out of Vegas, and you had another. I think it was on CBS. They ranked the 4 teams in the Final Four. Now this is Vegas. This is their top 4 teams. They got Duke plus 105, Florida Gators plus 270, Houston plus 400, and Auburn plus 500. Then another expert. I think it was the SE. I'm pretty sure it was the CBS experts on basketball. They had where Duke was ranking the 4 teams in there. Duke's the best. Florida was second. Auburn was third, and Houston was the 4th team. In your opinion, you've watched these games. How would you rank the top 4 teams? And then I'm going to ask you later to play it out, who wins, and break them down. But let's start right now. The top 4 teams, how would you rank them? And why?
I would put Duke first. I would put Florida second. I would put Houston third. I would put Auburn fourth.
Okay, all right, Doc, wait a minute. Hold your thoughts right there. We got to take a break. We come back. I want you to talk and tell us why you have this, and then we'll break down the games for Saturday. But right now, we got to take a break. Doc, we'll do it again one more time. Where are you located?
give us a holler, 233-3376. We are in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Watersound, Santa Rosa Beach, Phoenix Springs, Bonifay, and Mariana.
Hey, do you want to look better, feel better? Max Fit Sports Nutrition can make it happen. Jason Koleski does an incredible job. 2 great locations, 23rd Street, Pier Park. Listen to Jason every Monday. He'll be in here Friday also. Guy's incredible. You want to get an edge for your son, daughter in sports, go see Jason Kovalevsky. You want to lose weight, look better, go see Jason Kovalevsky. Newbies, we got 4 great locations. Newbies 2 on the curve, the place to watch all sporting events. Head down to the mothership, and all throughout spring break, all you spring breakers, get down there and have a great time like you've been. They've had a great spring break. They got the best entertainment at all the locations, especially the mothership. Charlotte, make sure of that during spring break. Get out to Newbies, tell them Coach sent you. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Don't touch that dial. Dr. Ward's with us. We'll be right back.
Atlanta Braves baseball is back.
Swing and a drive. That's hammered deep right. He jumped on one and hits a homer.
We're your exclusive radio home for the Atlanta Braves.
At the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Acuna.
Hear every exciting home run, every strikeout, and every thrilling victory on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. A variety of mostly sunshine and slight fog this afternoon and evening with a high near 78 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Slight fog tonight, a gentle breeze, and a temperature of 69. The same tomorrow around 78 with slight fog in the morning, but otherwise some sun. Mostly sunny Friday and very warm around 79. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Panama City, are you ready for March Madness and the best crawfish in town? Head to Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar. Watch 4 games at once, all tournament long, on the largest TV in Panama City. Wear your team gear and score big. Buy a drink, make a basket, win a free drink. Plus, unbeatable specials. 3 pounds of crawfish with corn and potatoes, just $25. Buckets of beer, $12.50. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Want to know the inside scoop on your favorite teams? From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond. For comprehensive sports coverage, it's ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back, 104.3.
Glenn's in the club.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We got Dr. Ward with us this morning talking about the Final Four. Doc, you rated Duke, Florida, Houston, Auburn. Why?
So, really, when you look at Auburn, they have really just Janai Broom, and then they can be really, really good when, like, their guards, I think it's Kelly and Pettifer, are on. But when those guys are off, like they were against Michigan State, and by the way, that was I didn't feel like Auburn or Michigan State played particularly well. It was just Auburn played less bad, and they had Janai Broom. And then, there are now questions about Janai Broom's health. He has to carry this team, and all of the other teams have more than one player you can rely on to deliver when you need them. So I just feel like Auburn's kind of the 4 teams, they've got the least number of real threats on the floor at any point in time. Houston, they're really good, especially defensively. Their concern is whether they can score enough points to beat a team like Duke if you get here. Florida, definitely lots of threats on the court. Florida's issue is sometimes they go cold and have 3 or 4 minutes where they don't score. But their spurt ability is unmatched. They have more spurt ability than Duke even. And Duke is just a complete team. Talent everywhere. They've got, guards that can make the three, forwards, centers that can do whatever they want under the basket. They're a very difficult team to match up against, and I think they're the prohibitive favorite. I think the only team that can beat Duke is Florida, and that's a Florida team that doesn't have, their typical 3-4 minute period when they kind of get cold before they heat up again.
Yeah, I'd had Florida win the national championship until I saw Duke, and then but I'm probably going to stick with my pick of Florida. All right, 5:09 this Saturday, CBS. Are you going, or are you going to watch it on TV?
No, I'm gonna watch on TV. I can't swing making another trip out of town.
All right, how's this game going to play out? Is it going to be competitive, close, or does Florida blow them out, or does Auburn pull the upset? Who wins the game, Florida, Auburn?
I think Florida wins it relatively comfortable. It all depends on if Pettifer and Kelly can hit shots. If they hit shots, it'll be close. But I think Florida still wins. If they don't hit shots, I don't even think it'll be close.
Okay, Houston, Duke, it's the same thing. Duke blow them out, or you think it's competitive? Houston's defense is really good.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a relatively close game, but I think over 40 minutes, Duke just scores more points. I think I predict both games will be double-digit wins by Duke and Florida.
Okay, then the national championship, you got the SEC, Florida Gators, Duke from the ACC getting it on. Is there any way Florida could pull the upset? I mean, those two big boys they got for Duke are incredible.
Florida wins if Walter Clayton, Will Richard, and these are our other big shooter, and Denzel Aberdeen all have really good days shooting the ball from the perimeter. We got the bigs to neutralize, they're inside a little bit, but they're going to get their points. So, that's what it comes down to, is our guards going to be able to make enough threes to keep them in it? And, I could see Duke winning by 10 to 12. I could see Florida winning by 2 or 3.
Okay. All right, you heard it here first. How much time we got? Okay. All right, let's jump into something that I'm surprised at. Florida baseball, 1-8 in the SEC, 19-11 overall. At home, they're 15-4. On the road, they're 4-6. They just played Ole Miss Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Ole Miss 7-5. They beat Florida on Thursday, Friday. Ole Miss 10, Florida 9. And then on the doubleheader on Friday, Florida wins at 11-8. This week, I think they got North Florida. I think that's who they got. I'm not sure. But what do you think the problem is? It the pitching? Is it the batting? The chemistry? What's going on? Because we're not used to this for Florida.
I just lost Doc. He'll have to call back. He's calling back town.
He didn't want to talk about baseball.
Amateur hour.
He didn't want to talk baseball.
Go ahead.
Sorry, hey guys, I had to drop off because the sound was not working at all. But now it's good. I heard what you were saying. So Florida baseball, I think the real issue is, look, we've lost a few pitchers to injury. Hopefully they'll come back before the season ends. And we played two of the best teams in the country, Tennessee and Georgia, and Ole Miss ain't bad. And we went to Oxford and took one of the 3 games. Luckily, over the course of the season, I think our next series are against
Vandy,
Mississippi State. We got Mississippi State, we got Vanderbilt, we got Missouri, and we got South Carolina. And those teams have a combined 7 between the 4 teams have a combined 7 wins. It would be relatively easy for Florida to get to 500 in the SEC and put themselves in a position to make the college baseball playoff and do well. And what I always say is when you get to playoff baseball, never bet against a Kevin O'Sullivan coach team.
I'm with you.
You know, it's SEC baseball.
Yeah,
is what it is. I mean, if I had come up before the year and said through the first 3 series, Florida, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Texas A&M would all be 8-1, nobody would have thought that was weird. And all 4 of them are 1-8. I mean, it's just SEC baseball.
Yeah.
You know.
Good point. And talking about SEC standings, you look at the number 1 team across the board. Arkansas, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas are all 8-1.
Yep.
Then you got LSU 7-2. Alabama is having a really good year. They're 6-3. Ole Miss is 6-3. Oklahoma 5-4. Auburn 4-5. Kentucky 4-5. Vandy 4-5. At number 12 is the Florida Gators 1-8. Mississippi State's 1-8. South Carolina's 1-8. Texas is A&M, which was at number 1 at one time.
Preseason number 1.
1-8.
The only team that really just does not have a good ball team this year is Missouri. They just don't. They're not a very good team this year. Yeah. All the others can be, just several of them aren't playing very well right now.
Yeah, I think what he said at the end of the year, let's see where we're at
at
the end of the year. Well, one thing that really upset me, the Harvard of the South, Southern Mississippi, drilled Ole Miss, and we're still ranked behind them.
Mm-hmm.
The power of the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Just means more.
Just means more.
Yeah, and you're gonna see that you get 12 or 13 teams into the playoffs. So I mean, the strength of the conference is going to be rewarded, and every team will have a chance to make it to Omaha.
Well, did I hear this right? Did Texas A&M's basketball coach leave and go to Maryland?
No.
Well, I don't know. Maryland's coach went to Villanova. I have not heard anything on that. I'll look.
That I can't believe that. I don't believe that. That might have been an April Fool's deal.
Buzz, he's been a good coach no matter where he's been. So I don't know why.
Why would you leave A&M, all the money they've got?
Right, and go to
Ooh.
Is it true?
I'm seeing it here. Yahoo Sports says it. 24/7 says it.
Wow. What do you think about that, Doc? You leave Texas A&M to go to Maryland. Big Ten's got money too, but Texas A&M's got big time money.
I think the Big Ten is really pissed off that the SEC dominated college basketball this year, and I think that they probably are going to actively try to steal some coaches away, and they've got money, so I'm not surprised by that. At the end of the day. Coaches are going to go where the money is and where they feel like they've got the most NIL. And, Maryland is, in basketball at least, is a bigger name than A&M. A&M is not necessarily a basketball school per se.
Well, in all the years they were in the ACC as well, basketball's huge at Maryland.
Yeah, wow. All right, let me ask you this. How's everything going with the new hospital? You guys got it rolling good?
Absolutely, man. We just opened our outpatient lab and imaging center this week. We have a new CT machine that can do full cardiac imaging. So you want to know what your coronary arteries look like. 2 years ago, the only way to get that information would be to have cardiac catheterization, which is a procedure where they have to put a catheter up one of your arteries, and it's a pretty invasive type procedure. Now you can just go get a scan and have perfect results of what your cardiac what your coronary arteries look like. It's great technology, and anytime you can take an invasive procedure and turn it to non-invasive, that's exactly what you want to do. And by the time you get cast, the bill on that's $5,000 to $10,000. This, at North Walton Doctors Hospital, is under $1,000 to know that your heart is healthy. And I know the issue most people will have is that their insurance won't want to cover it, but we have really good cash pay pricing on this, and you can get it without having to get your insurance to authorize it. So
wow,
it's great. If you got a history of heart disease, even if you don't, let's say you just got the COVID shot and you're worried that it caused heart problems, you can have the peace of mind knowing your heart is okay.
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up with you later when I come over to your office. Get checked out again. I'm gonna get up. I'm interested in that. So it's $1,000 cash.
under 1,000. So 750s are introductory pricing, which we're doing at the rollout, and then even afterwards, it'll be $999.
Now, this is the one up on 331, correct?
331, yep, just south of Defuniak.
Yeah, I'm interested in that. All right, Doc, thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, okay?
Absolutely. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, sir. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I'll tell you what, I know you love them too, Glenn. Don and Judy, love them. The Vandergrift family, legendary family here. Wonderful guy. He's coach. How many years was he there?
At least 35, 40.
Yeah, unbelievable coach, unbelievable man. And, of course, his wife, beautiful thing. She is a sweetheart. Ran for superintendent. She's now one of the city commissioners, Lynn Haven, Judy. Yep. Great people, and they got one of their fine children. Kyle Vandergrift does a great job with Local 115, downtown historical Panama City. Go check it out. Wednesday through Sunday, great food, great atmosphere, great place to watch what's going on in the Final Four. College baseball games, professional football games, everything right there. They got the Tommy Oliver draft beer. Go check it out. They got the best crab cakes you'll get anywhere. I love their gumbo down there. Go check it out, the Local 115. Also, with Kyle Vandergrift, if you're looking to have something built, they design, they build, commercial, residential, they can do it all. But if you're looking for a roof, which I am in the market of that, I'm going to make sure I'm going to visit with Kyle Vandergrift. TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. They do incredible work. They do unbelievable work, and they're priced, well priced. TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting. Don't forget that. TK Vandy Roofing. Kyle Vandergrift's who you want to go with. Nobody. Don't think about anybody else. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want the yard to look absolutely beautiful. You worried about pests inside your house? They can take care of that also. Patrick, every Monday, 8:30, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. They do great work. Turf Pro Pest Control, number one. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
They're not all lovey-dovey. How you see like in the NBA, everybody wants to be everybody's friend and dap them up and hug them and stuff. That there is a rivalry there. And that's what I want to see in sports. I want to see in sports where I want to destroy you. My competition, I don't want us to be friends. You're on the other side. You're wearing the other team's colors. I don't like you. I hate you, and I want to embarrass you.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. A variety of mostly sunshine and slight fog this afternoon and evening with a high near 78 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Slight fog tonight, a gentle breeze and a temperature of 69. The same tomorrow around 78 with slight fog in the morning, but otherwise some sun. Mostly sunny Friday and very warm around 79. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Is your car pulling left or right? Do your tires look like they're losing their roundness? These are all symptoms that your car is in need of an alignment. Here at Alford Tire and Service Center, we offer all sorts of services, including alignments just for $89.99, which is backed by our nationwide warranty and easy financing options. If your vehicle feels like it's steering you off the road, let us steer you back in the right direction. Located on Tyndall Parkway in beautiful Callaway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clear, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll, Tide, roll. Hey, if you're looking to enjoy life a little bit better, you want to save some money, you want your power bill to be not so high as it's been, you call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let them come out, let them service what you have. And if they'll tell you if it's, hey, look, it's just too old, we can't do anything with it, it's time to bite the bullet and get something new.
That's what they say about you.
Thank you, Brian. and they can, and when you go with Stevenson Air Conditioning, they're telling you the truth, man. They'll come in. We had everything. We had new lines put throughout the house. We had everything you can do, put brand new in. But they look at the windows, the doors. They tell you all the ways you can save money, cooling your house, warming your house. It's Stevenson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals. And anytime, day or night, it breaks down. If you got an old one that breaks down, call them. They'll be the first ones out there. I guarantee you that. They do incredible work. They're extremely honest, hardworking people. Stevenson Air Conditioning. And they're throughout the Panhandle of Florida. They are number one. I guarantee you, I don't know what percentage it is, but our power bill has definitely gone down because we had a really old one. And all it would do was run and run, and never got the house cooled in the summertime. So we finally did it, the best thing we ever did. Stevenson Air Conditioning. You want to get it serviced right before summer and right before winter. That's what we do anyway. But you want to make sure within 6 months you get it done. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. They do an incredible job. We just got through talking during the break that one of these great actors that passed away, Val Kilmer. He played in Top Gun. He played in Doc. What was the name of the Western? Doc Holliday?
One of the Tombstone.
Yeah, it was Tombstone or Wyatt Earp, one of the two.
Yeah, 65.
Holiday. That's what he played.
That's
right.
He did a great job both. He was a great actor. Wasn't he in Batman too or something?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a Batman.
Yeah, he 65 years old. I believe he had lung cancer or something.
Cancer.
But he died. Brian said he died of pneumonia, right?
Right.
Well, that's what technically,
But he had throat cancer for the
throat
past,
cancer. That's what
weakened immune
5-8
system, I'm
years.
sure.
Yeah, 65 years old. Great actor.
Iceman.
Yeah. I heard good things about that guy. I heard he's a good person. But anyway, so keep him in your prayers and your family. And also, say a little prayer for Wildcat. He's got to go in and get bend over. Anyway, he's having something done.
I wish that's what it was.
Lay down.
I'd take that over what I got to go through any day.
All right, Greg McElroy. Names a head football coach he's bullish on. You know, Alabama's won more national championships than any college team in football history. A lot of big-name coaches, Bear Bryant, Nick Saban, the two biggest names of all time. Alabama hired DeBoer. He was the Washington head coach. His first year at Alabama was nothing special. He was 9-4. He played Georgia. I believe when Georgia was ranked number 2 or number 1 in the country, beat them. They played LSU there when they were ranked 15th in the country, beat them there at home, beat them pretty good. When Alabama finally ranks number 1, they go to Vandy, they lose. They lose to Oklahoma. They lose to Michigan. They didn't look good at the end of the year. It's like it was going the wrong direction. But his record versus DeBoer's record versus AP top 20 teams the last 3 years is 13-2. Pretty good. Really outstanding record. Hard to judge Alabama off just 1 year, but he's still bullish on DeBoer. Still super impressed with what he's done in the past. And his record's pretty impressive.
You know, if you look at it, though, it makes perfect sense. He's a guy who came from not a super conference.
Yeah.
He's going to get up and win the big games. He's a great coach. He obviously takes his foot off the gas in the other games because out in the Pac-12, you could do that.
Yeah.
I think it was a good wake-up call for him this year.
From 2005 to 2009, he went 67-3. Glenn, I could probably keep my job if I won 67 games and I lost 3 in that short period of time. I like that. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
He won 3, like Brian said, NAIA championship. That's not SEC. It's not Big Ten. It's not ACC. At Fresno State, he was 12-6 from 2021, 2022. I'm sorry, 2020, 2021. Head coach at Washington, 2022. He lost 3 games at Washington. He lost to Michigan in the national championship game. He beat Texas to get to the national championship game. His overall record's incredible. Hopefully he is the answer. The game has changed so much now. Everybody's worried about losing players and everything like that. Bama's got 8 guys coming back on defense. Got to find out the quarterback. So we'll see. We shall see how it works out for DeBoer. What do you think, Glenn? You think he's the answer? You think he's going to take them back and keep them where they've been, or you think they'll be looking for a new coach in 2 years?
I think he'll do okay. I think what Brian said has a lot to do with it. Also, my thing is I wouldn't wager a bingo game on Greg McElroy anymore. I can tell you right now. And I'll get into that in the FSU update. But he's a little proud of himself, and all he did was hand the ball off and watch some of the people score. So it's a big thing. Hey,
tell us how you really feel.
Well, let me just say he can manage the game. How's that?
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Alabama now has 5 assistant coaches who are making $1 million. They need to win big next year, next 2 years with the kind of money they're spending on college coaches, not just the head coach, not just the coordinators. It's a done deal. Alabama's Board of Trustees approved it. Alabama's new offensive coordinator, Grubb, and DB coach, Jason Jones. Offensive line offensive line coach has a 2-year deal at Alabama, making more than $1 million a year. DB coach Johns, 2-year deal for $250,000. Then it bumps up the next year to $450,000. Defense coordinator Warmack, which I think I love his dad. His dad was a really good guy.
He's good,
and he was the former head coach at South Alabama, I do believe. He's going to make $1.7 million. I don't know if this is a 2-year deal or not. I think it is. Now, their former OC was making big-time money because he was OC. They didn't cut his pay. They kept his pay up there. He's not now officially the offensive coordinator. We know we got the guy that's been with him, and he believes in so much is there, and Grubb. So Nick Sheridan was going to make $1.45 million. Freddie Roach is an outstanding player. When he played at Alabama, he's an unbelievable coach, great recruiter. He's worth every penny. They're going to pay him $1.2 million a year. And then, like I said, Nick's going to make $1.1 million a year. What is the general manager, Courtney Morgan? He's got a 2-year deal at the University of Alabama. What exactly, y'all help me with this. General manager, is this managing the NIL? What is, I'm not quite sure. This is something new to me.
Probably just coordinating a lot of administrative things, I would think.
NIL money?
Yeah, probably that. Probably, I'm
going to find out.
You making sure you have the right cleats for bowl games and things like that.
Well, they just fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
I'm going to find out exactly what that
I would imagine NIL's the bulk of what
some
they
of that,
do.
yeah. You have a compliance officer, so that wouldn't be it. But you know what? I wouldn't count my chickens on Grubb yet till the season starts. He may bolt again somewhere.
Well, the Stanford.
There's Glenn causing trouble.
Stanford went with they're going to do an interim for a year, and I forgot who it was.
That's Frank Wright.
Yeah. So he's out of that one for now. So we looks like we're going to have him. There's another one they just suspended a coach. I want to say it was Kent State, somewhere like that, some smaller school. I don't know what his connection. I don't think he has a connection there. I think he will be at Alabama next year. Now, going back to Morgan. Now, he's got a 2-year contract. First year of the new contract is going to pay him $825,000. The second year, they bump him up to $875,000. You got 5 assistant coaches making over $1 million. That's pretty good. It's time to produce. Hugh Freeze at Auburn making big time money. It's time to produce. Alabama 9-4 is not going to get it done. The schedule is pretty doggone tough. They're at Georgia. They're at Auburn. We shall see how this plays out. I thought our fans were pretty good this past year. I really do. I thought they were patient. I thought everybody knew Nick was gone. You lost the best of all time. I thought they handled it pretty good.
Well, you're asking an Auburn guy. I don't care. But no, I'm just kidding. He found out. I guarantee you, like Brian said, when you get in there and you played in a conference where you got 2 or 3 tough games, then the rest of them, you should win, and you have been winning them. So now he finds out the grind is really what the grind is supposed to be. So.
Yeah, one of the way too early polls, Alabama was number 3, and this was, I didn't write down who it was by. I apologize for that. There have been several of them coming out, which is really a waste of paper because, like he mentioned earlier, they're going to have people transfer in and out, and so the rosters aren't set. When they start giving these things out in June, July is going to be a little bit better because we're going to know exactly who's on what teams for a short period of time anyway. They did come out with the easiest 2025 football schedule. They have some teams of those. So BYU, keep an eye on them. They're going to have a shot to make the playoffs this year. Their schedule is one of the easiest in the country. I just will say that. All right, let's take a break. We get back. Hopefully we'll have a little bit about Auburn, a little bit about FSU, and then we get ready for Mark McLeod at 8:30, the one and only, the great Mark McLeod. All right, let's talk about J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. The best seafood, the coldest beer. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Today, world famous J. Michael's spaghetti. But if you're into shrimp, you love fried shrimp. I love fried shrimp. Go everywhere. The best you'll get is at J. Michael's Restaurant. They also have great steaks. Ask Jason Kovaleski. Not only did I buy him lunch for steak, he also ordered shrimp plate. That guy can eat. It's unbelievable. I'll never take him to lunch again, or dinner.
If you go into like Granny's or somewhere, it's got a buffet, they got a sign up there with a slash through his picture. You can't go in.
Do not enter. But I will give him credit. I tell you what, when we went to the Cajun place one day for a football game, he did pick up my bill. He was great. He's a great man.
He is.
Yeah. And speaking of him, Max Fit Sports Nutrition, do you want to look better, feel better? He can make it happen. They got all kind of great products. Help you sleep, help with your cholesterol, help you joint pain, back pain. They got it all right down there. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, Pier Park, 23rd Street. Go check it out. We think you'll love it.
I was in there yesterday picking up some stuff, and I saw 2 or 3 high school kids in there with their parents, and he was going over the program for them and telling them, you don't need this, you need to do this. Tell me what you're looking for. And so it was just great to hear him go over things with all those people and how he does it.
He's highly intelligent.
Yes,
Great guy.
they do a great job.
And what did he do? He went with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Not only at his business, he also did it at his house. So should you. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. Don't even think about anybody else. It's locals taking care of locals here in the Panhandle of Florida. That is Stevenson Air Conditioning. We'll be right back. Glenn Manley, Brian's with us, Wildcats with us. We get back, we'll talk a little bit about Auburn. Then we got to jump into FSU, and then we got Mark McLeod.
In the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. A variety of mostly sunshine and slight fog this afternoon and evening with a high near 78 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Slight fog tonight, a gentle breeze and a temperature of 69. The same tomorrow around 78 with slight fog in the morning, but otherwise some sun. Mostly sunny Friday and very warm around 79. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Want to experience the ultimate car wash? At Tommy's Express, you'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading, flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Try us for free. Text WASH 415 to 86697 to send our best wash, The Works, directly to your phone. You'll love the sudsy clean, ceramic wax, underbody flush, spot-free rinse, and tire gloss. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today. Offer valid to new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional and information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Do you hear a squealing sound when you're braking? How about a clunking when turning? Shaking while under acceleration? These are all problems that Alford Tire and Service Center in Callaway can solve. With our friendly staff and trusted mechanics, we here at Alford offer a wide variety of services to keep you on the road and driving, which comes back with our nationwide warranty and easy financing options. Located in beautiful Callaway on Tyndall Parkway, we do it all at Alford Tire and Service Center.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. It's double the Paul Feinbaum Show. Weeknights starting at 6.
Okay, but also go faster.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey, 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 hey! Auburn update. Brought here Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Today's special, 10 wings inside for $9.99. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Pat does a great job over there. Also does a great job, the city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Beef O'Brady's, Lynn Haven. Get out there, have a great time. Watch the Final Four. We all know Auburn will be playing the Florida Gators. 5:09 tip-off. It's on CBS this Saturday morning. Hopefully, we're going to have an SEC team win the national championship. Good luck versus Duke. And then the second game is Duke and Houston. We're talking about Hugh Freeze. They named the top 25 college coaches for 2025. Hugh Freeze did not make the list, and I think this was done by CBS. And they have, 24/7 have one also. He has not really achieved much on the field as far as wins, but he's done a great job in recruiting. There's no doubt about that. They brought in talent across the board. Now, CBS has the win totals over and under for all the SEC teams. I'm not going to go all over them right now. I'll do that later. But right now, starting out this 2025 football season, Glenn, they have Auburn 7.5 wins over under. If it's under, if it's 7, he's in trouble. If it's under, he is in big trouble. I do believe it's over 7.5. What do you think, Glenn? Remember, they got Alabama at home, they got Georgia at home, and I think another tough game for them is going to be Texas A&M. That's at Texas A&M. Baylor to open the season. What's the magical number in 2025? Are they going to be over 7.5 or under or push?
I think he's going to be kind of on the Mendoza line, like in baseball. I think he's going to be right there at 8, probably around 8, maybe 9. I don't know if that'll save him or not because they put a lot of money into him.
I think what saves him is recruiting.
Yeah, he's got some recruits. A quarterback issue again. He's supposed to be a quarterback guru, so but a lot of times it's not the quarterback coaching or the quarterback his ability. It has to do with the offensive line. So if you're not very mobile, you have a real problem getting things done back there when you're running for your life. So we'll see.
All right, I want to ask both of you real quick. Auburn, Florida, Brian, who wins the game?
I'll be honest, I actually like Auburn. I think they've found something in the tournament. I think they've settled in. My only concern, I know Broom was able to come back in the game of the weekend, but with time, sometimes those ankle injuries actually can get a little worse with a little bit of time like that, the swelling and whatever. So I'm a little interested to hear the injury report as we get into more, this afternoon into tomorrow, just to check. But I just like the veteran nature of Auburn. I think Florida, they've been playing really well, but they've had a few little slip-ups here in the tournament that they were able to come back against Texas Tech. I'm not sure if they let that happen against Auburn, they're going to be able to come back. So I just have this feeling about Auburn. It's really nothing more than a gut feeling, but I'm going to take Auburn to beat Florida.
Glenn, who you like? Auburn?
Gosh,
I know who you like. Who you picking?
Well, the thing is, I flip-flop every day on the, when you start weighing things. This is going to be hard. This is going to be hard to judge. I hate to say this, but you're going to get into how hard they let them play. When they played the other night, Michigan State was playing. I thought, you only had to mug them before they made a call. If the police came out and arrested you, then they call a foul. But I'm kind of leaning towards Brian with the experience, and they've been in those situations. So I'm going to lean a little towards the Tigers, I think.
War Eagle. I like that. Brian, I got some information here. The general manager of the Alabama football program, overall overseeing and directing the daily operations of both personnel and recruiting departments.
Okay.
They help organize the head football coach with film evaluation, prospects communication, organize and transfer portable evaluation. GM also tasked with supervising internal brand management for Alabama.
So basically,
football.
he could be a secretary.
Yeah.
So clearly doesn't select the cleats to be used.
Okay. That would be the.
He said, "Tell Brian I don't do that." The word started with it started with S.
Clearly nobody does it. They're out there playing in freaking tennis shoes.
Slip and slide.
All right, let's get into FSU real quick.
It might rain in Florida.
Jim wants to weigh in, too.
Who?
Jim.
Oh, we got Jim. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing, buddy?
Man, I couldn't be better. What size shirt you wear, Jim?
I just told him extra large.
All right. Who's going to win? Auburn, Florida.
Well, Auburn's getting 3 points, but I'm going to take Florida.
All right, we got one with Florida, got two Auburn. Wildcat, what did you pick?
You know, I'm with Glenn. I've been back and forth, but I started out with Auburn, so that's where I'm going to stay.
All right. Hey, Jim, you want to stay on with us for a minute? Glenn's going to give us some information on Florida State.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about softball. They are number 10 in the Division I. They're 33 and 5, and they're 9-0 in the ACC, so they're number 1 there. They play at home tonight against Florida, number 2 ranked Florida, and so they play at 5, and then they have a weekend against number 6 in the ACC, Virginia. So that starts on Friday. The baseball team, they're number 4 in Division I. The report, they're 23 and 5. They're 7 and 2 in the ACC. They're number 1 there. They played last night against Jacksonville, and the pitching was off a little bit for both teams, but the bats were on fire. But FSU won 11-10 last night, so they have been hitting some home runs. They will host Wake Forest on Friday through Sunday. Wake Forest is 20 and 9, and they're number 4 in the ACC, and they're 7 and 5 in the ACC record. Now, you know, when we had this quarterback controversy, but the culprit behind the quarterback development is not the recruiting, it's not the quarterback coach Tommy Cazares, but it's the offensive line. It's been sucked since 2016. Mm-hmm. So it was even bad under Fisher that he couldn't get it right. Taggart couldn't get it right. Now Norvell had a little success with it because he had Jordan Travis, who was so mobile that he covered up some of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And you could constantly see him in films getting away, like the one Florida touchdown. He got away from about 5 people and finally scored. So, then they've had no running game in the last 2 years because they can't block that either. So the pass blocking has been abysmal. And so anyway, and if they compared Lagway, if Lagway had his offensive line, he wouldn't have as big as stats as James Blackman. Remember him? He was in there for about 5 games or 6 games. So it's been such a bad thing. And so Jordan Travis has really hit all the discrepancies. Now you have to find somebody, but they've got legitimate quarterbacks that could actually play if they had some blocking. So we'll see. Now the biggest naysayer from ESPN radio or TV is Greg McElroy.
I wonder.
Now, in 2023, he was one of the biggest supporters of FSU until the final day. Then he kind of brought out his true colors from the ESPN money makers. And ESPN has been known to, you won't believe this, favoritism to the SEC and the Big Ten.
Oh, nonsense. Nonsense, I say.
Never. So when McElroy has his podcast, Always College Football, all of FEC fans give him a 1-star rating. So anyway, now one of the problems for Florida State is going to be we don't know who the Alabama quarterback is going to be. So it's actually 6 Saturdays until we play. So 22 weeks, if that's how you want to say it, close to there. So we're having a problem with that. And one of the things that some people, I guess the beat writers over in Tallahassee are saying, the things we need to watch for to monitor this spring for Florida State is relationship between Castellanos and the receivers. Now, when you got receivers with a name like Squirrel White, I mean, you got to have things with him. But both of those guys, he and the Robinson guy that came from USC, they're both 6'7", so he's got some targets. So it depends on that. And then the performance of the defensive line. Last year they got pushed around quite a bit, so they want to have a little more physicality and what they're going to do with that. And also how the defensive backs stand as they come out of the spring game. Spring practice. So those are the 3 things you kind of want to monitor. And
I thought about something. They were talking about during August, we were listening, and they said that offense was having a hard time versus Florida State's offense having a hard time against their defense, and we just found out how bad their defense was last year.
That's why they looked so good last spring. They were like, and they're kind of doing the same thing this year, but last year you had so many people from the transfer portal, they did more things doing schemes than actually fundamentals. And I think they've gone back to more fundamentals at the beginning. And then now, and I think the Tony White and also Malzahn have said nothing but praises for what's going on right now.
Jim, week 1, Alabama FSU football played in Tallahassee. Who you like in that game? Which coach is under more pressure, and who you like in that game?
Well, I like Alabama in that game. I'm not a big FSU fan right now for some reason. I don't know. I used to, but I'm not anymore.
Well, they got a lot to. Oh, I want to ask you something real quick before we got to get off. We got Mark McLeod coming on at 8:30. Arkansas football next year, according to according to CBS, they got them at 5.5 over under. They got Ole Miss, which is going to have a good ball club. They got Notre Dame. I think they got Notre Dame at home. Tennessee, Auburn, LSU, Texas. My question to you is: are they going to be over or under that 5.5? How many wins do you think they get?
Well, since you got Bobby Petrino back there, and he was our best coach in modern era. He was 9-3 and 11-2 one year. So it depends on how much Pittman lets him take over. So I don't know. You know, I've been reading, trying to find out who they got coming back. At least we got our quarterback, and he's all right. He just sometimes has the dropsies behind the center. But I think I'm thinking we are going to go be bowl eligible.
All right, so you got them over then. You think there's any way, if it goes south, do you think there's any way they'll hire Bobby, let Sam Pittman go and bring in Bobby back?
Yep.
Okay, you heard it here first.
That gets my vote in my portal that I have to the Razorbacks.
All right, hey buddy, thank you for calling, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I want to tell you one other thing right quick.
Okay.
Hard Rock is the only. I bet a little bit. Hard Rock's the only one, but they got Houston getting 5 and Auburn getting 3. So there's your pick from Florida.
All right. You heard it here first. Thank you, Jim. We get back. We got Mark McLeod. Everything you need to know about the Florida Gators. Not just basketball, baseball, softball. Softball is outstanding. We got Mark McLeod talking about all those great things there. Don't forget Beef O'Brady's Day. 10 wings inside, $9.99. Beef O'Brady's Lynn Haven. Get out to Lynn Haven, have a great time. Beef O'Brady's. We're down there, Russ. Let's go see Russ and Amber. Let's go buy some jewelry.
Special somebody, get them a special ring. They can design it, they can create it, and have it on their finger within 10 days for less money than anybody at David Adamson Designer Jewelry Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
And then head on down and see Steve at Steve's Bike Shop. Get you a little electric bike. Those things are outstanding. You got an old bike, you want some new tires for it, you go see Steve Bike Shop. You want a new bike, go see Steve Bike Shop. They do an incredible job. 23rd Street. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He touched my hair. He hits my hair.
I'm a victim of a basketball joke. Ever since I was a little baby, I always be dribbling. In fact, I was the baddest dribbler in the whole neighborhood.
Oh, my God. Anyway.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Panama City, are you ready for March Madness and the best crawfish in town? Head to Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar. Watch 4 games at once, all tournament long, on the largest TV in Panama City. Wear your team gear and score big. Buy a drink, make a basket, win a free drink. Plus, unbeatable specials. 3 pounds of crawfish with corn and potatoes, just $25. Buckets of beer, $12.50. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. 800-605-4650. That's 800-605-4650.
For the A.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
Your spot for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Listen live nights and weekends. This is Braves Country. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
When you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
It's the Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bum, 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 bum. Go Gators. We got the great one, Mark McLeod, every Wednesday right here, 8:30 ESPN Northwest Florida. Good morning, Mark.
Hey, good morning, Coach. Good to be on with you.
Well, I appreciate it. How you feeling? You feeling pretty good?
Doing great.
Good. Well, let's get into it. Basketball. Florida Gators, tip-offs at 5:09 CBS this Saturday versus the Auburn Tigers. What are you hearing? What do you know? Who's going to win the ball game?
Well, I think it should be a good one, shouldn't it? I mean, goodness gracious. These two teams, you go back to the last time they played, and the Gators jumped on Auburn in that, early February meeting, I guess it was. And you go back to that game, the Gators had 4 players in double digits, as I recall. And 3 of them were the guards, which was strange because if you remember, Elijah Martin didn't play in that game. He was injured in a previous game. So I think it was just a huge win for the Gators. It was really monumental for them because Auburn was number 1. Florida had a bad game a few games earlier and really needed to kind of right the ship. And, now you've got both of them here. And I think for a lot of people, it's not a surprise. But I think when you get down to the Florida-Auburn game, I think it's going to come down to defense, bench productivity, and the free throw line. And the win Florida got over Auburn, I had to go back and look it up, but the Tigers hit just 14 to 23 from the line. Meanwhile, Florida was knocking theirs down. And, guys, you can't shoot 60% and expect to win those really tight games where, the littlest mistake can hurt you. And furthermore, you go back and look at the Ken Palmer ratings before the SEC tournament, and right there you had Florida, Auburn, Duke was, I think, number 1. Houston was up there, Alabama. So in this, thankfully I got all my Sweet 16 games right, but I did not right going beyond. But, well, guys, it's been great because we're seeing the top teams in the nation, and we're seeing the best of the best.
How is Florida going to travel? I think Auburn's going to have a lot of people there. What about the Gator Nation? You think we'll have a lot of Gator Nations out there?
I think they will. If you look typically at Texas in that area, you do have a lot of former Florida graduates in the Dallas, Fort Worth area, and then certainly even in Austin. So we hope that they travel and go over that way. But and I got to believe there'll be some fans going. Florida's not a great traveling team when it comes to basketball. They do real well in football, but in basketball they just don't get it. But hopefully they'll have a good group there.
Houston, Duke, who you like? Everybody's loving Duke, but what do you think about Houston? Houston, Duke.
Yeah, I had Houston in the Final Four. I tell you, Duke has been so impressive to me. I looked at them late in the season, regular season, and I saw them play parts of 2 games, and I thought they're good, really good, but I don't know that they're great. And then, of course, they lose Flag for a little while, and I thought, wow, that could really hurt him, depending on when he can come back, because it looked like a bad ankle sprain. But since he has returned and since they've gotten in the tournament, they have been crushing it. And, I am just so impressed by them. Right now, you look at what they've done throughout the entirety of the tournament, and you would have to say that's the team to beat.
Yeah, they're playing good, and on the Florida Auburn thing, I've just been flip-flopping because one day I think this is going to work, the next day I don't think it's to work. So I'm kind of going to flip the coin the day of, I think, but Houston could be the sleeper in all this.
Could be. The thing about Duke that I really like in that Alabama game, the defense that Duke played, is just insane. They are just so good defensively. And, we spent the year talking about certain teams defensively. Right now, there's nobody playing better defense than Duke. Of course, let me say going through the tournament, there's been nobody playing better defense than Duke.
Right. The other thing, too, is this is my theme, having been an official, though. You don't know who's going to be calling the game, and, hopefully no ACC officials get in there because it would be chaos. But the other thing, too, is, I know they want to get everything right, but it looks like every other call they have to go to the monitor here lately.
Oh, God, they're going way too much.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's awful. It's awful. It's awful to watch for the fans. It's awful to watch for media. I mean, and it's got to be driving the players and coaches absolutely bananas, and we know it is. But you guys are right. I mean, officiating. Goodness, we shouldn't be at this point. We should be developing in terms of what we're doing for the game officiating in all sports, football, basketball, baseball, but we have seen it go downhill progressively through the decades.
We've seen it in every sport, though. It's initially designed to overturn egregious errors. And what it ends up being, people are relying on it as a fourth official.
Right.
And that's not what it was designed to do, and it's really hurting the flow of the game.
Yeah, if you, as you well know, if you go to the game yourself, it's already long enough with the TV timeouts every 4 minutes. So, so now you're going to stop. The other night they had it they wanted to see whose fingertip it came off of, so we sat there for 4 or 5 minutes watching them look at it. So,
I'm curious one thing, Mark. Obviously the Elite Eight game against Texas Tech was, legendary if you're a Gator. I mean, huge comeback. Ironically, the same way Texas Tech came back the round before. But I'm curious, when you have a week after that, obviously you would think, well, you're going to be excited about being in the Final Four and you're pumped up that you came back. But do you worry at all about any thought seeping in? Florida's a team that everything had kind of gone right for a while. Do you think they maybe, have a week now to stem on, how did we let ourselves get in this position? And against a team like Auburn, we may not be able to come back from that. Do you think that enters into their mind at all?
I think it has to, because and look, they had that run of games, guys, after that loss to Georgia, where 7 games, they blew just about everybody out except for Alabama in that 99-94 game, which was in Tuscaloosa. But they were whipping people left and right. And then you get in a tough game against UConn, and the players said afterwards, maybe we needed a little bit of that. We needed a test. We needed something to remind us of, hey, you guys you can be great, but you can also not be great, is what one of the players said. And then you have a game, like you said, Brian, against Texas Tech. I hope 2 of these last 3 games against UConn and Texas Tech serve as a wake-up call, because, you got an Auburn team that's going to be hungry and wanting to a bit of revenge on what the embarrassment that Florida caused them on their own court. Because, look, guys, Florida blew them out, and that was an embarrassing loss for the Tigers.
All right, real quick, we got to take a break. Who's going to win the national championship? Who you got?
Well, I got Florida. But right now I'm looking at Duke going, man, you may have blown that one back.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that. Real quick, ES Sports, they had the 12 best uniforms. This is all that matters today. This is the most important thing you're going to get out of the show today.
So Alabama's number 1.
The number 1 uniform, if they did the top 12 uniforms in the college football, the number 1 is not Alabama. It's not Florida either. But number 3 is the Florida Gators. But this is what you have to wear, Mark. You have to wear the orange helmets. You have to have the blue shirts and the white pants. And I agree. I do like that uniform. Florida came in number 3, but the number 1 uniform in the college football is the LSU Fighting Tigers with their white jerseys, gold pants, and
it's not a bad one.
Not bad. All right, Mark, we're going to take a break. We get back, we're going to ask you about college football. We're going to ask you also about the baseball team. Softball's the number 2 team in the country. We'll be right back with Mark McLeod. Let's talk about some of our wonderful people right now. Don't forget today only, world famous J. Michael Spaghetti, only on Wednesdays. You'll absolutely love it. The best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael. And Brian will be singing there today.
No, that just turned everybody away.
And don't forget now, you're Lynn Haven, get the beef O'Brady's. They got their special today. If you're downtown, go to local 115. Say hello to Kyle Vandergriff and the crew down there. The best crab cakes you'll get anywhere. Great food, oysters, you name it. This is kind of like a Bay County Hall of Fame. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Historical, downtown Panama City, the local 115. If you're looking for a roof, there's only one place to live. That is TK Vandy Roofing, General Contracting. They design, they build commercial, residential. They are number one at what they do. But if you're looking for a roof, man, I'm telling you right now, Kyle Vandergriff does a great job. TK Vandy Roofing. We'll be right back. Mark McLeod, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Wednesday's weather forecast. A variety of mostly sunshine and slight fog this afternoon and evening with a high near 78 and a wind 15 to 20 miles per hour. Slight fog tonight, a gentle breeze and a temperature of 69. The same tomorrow around 78 with slight fog in the morning, but otherwise some sun. Mostly sunny Friday and very warm around 79. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover Kia at Bill Bird Kia. The road is yours. Let spring adventures begin in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and check out the 2025 SUV family. Take a test drive and see the all-new features that elevate any adventure. And now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. $1,748 per month per 1,000 financed in 60 months. Qualities limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/30/25.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey! Hey! What? Hey! Mark!
Bay.
McLeod.
Bay.
Hey!
Bay.
Mark!
Bay.
McLeod. Hey! Mark! McLeod. I wrote a new song. Put that on my hit list. Put that on there.
Coming out this Christmas.
Well, you actually had words in this one.
This was good. All right, let's bring it back on. All you need to know about the Florida game is the great one, Mark McLeod. Mark, this is done by CBS. They already came out with it, and I think somebody else came out with one too, but I kind of like looking at it. They got the Florida Gators, CBS win totals for SEC college football teams in 2025. They got the Florida Gators. Their over and under is 6.5. Remember, you got LSU. The next week you got Miami. You got Texas. You're at Texas A&M, Georgia, and I want to say, is that Oklahoma? Ole Miss, at Ole Miss. So the schedule's brutal like it always is. I definitely say it's going to be over. What say you? What's the over, under 6.5? Are they over or are they under?
Well, regarding your song, Casey Kasem has rolled over in his I think it's over, guys. I think there's too much experience on this football team, provided they keep DJ Lagway healthy at quarterback, because really behind them, they've got a little experience here and there, but they don't have that guy. The wide receiver group has been the rage really, the first part of the spring practice. But, if you talk to Napier, he'll tell you the linebacker group is a group he absolutely loves. They're physical, they're intense, they're big, they're fast. He also likes what he sees in the secondary from the young guys, because they have so many guys banged up that are out right now. As he'll tell you, he says, we're going to have a lot of depth and a lot of guys who have played some football. So I think he feels really good about those areas, and, of course, the offensive line. He's spoken at length about the offensive line, and so I do believe it's going to be over. I think I think that stretch is going to be crucial for them. Now, again, they've got a lot of hurdles to overcome. The positive for Florida, too, if you look at the defensive people, Vinny Sunseri coming in to help run the defense, a major step up over Austin Armstrong, you got to believe. But also, remember, Robert Bela and Teron Wilson, these are two guys that are back coaching with Florida who were with Napier at Florida earlier. So it's not like there's no learning curve there. They know exactly what needs to happen, and they've been on the practice field and have been really, regarding Sunseri and Wilson, and Baylor, working with some of those younger guys in the secondary and elsewhere who are banged up, where the veterans are banged up.
Yeah, I think Florida's back. I got them. I think they're going to win 9 games. I think they're going to 9-3. They make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs with that schedule. Here's one thing they can't do. They cannot lose to LSU and Miami back to back. If that happens, then everything's, then we need a new coach and all that kind of stuff. If they split that, they're going to be okay. If they win both of them, then I feel pretty good about them having a chance, really having a shot to get in the playoffs. I really do, depending on what happens out throughout the rest of the country.
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to that roster and the depth. Napier said after the scrimmage Saturday that, the thing that he likes about the offensive line is we have competition at all the positions. They had competition at one position last year, and that was center. That was it, really. But now, with these guys growing up and the freshmen growing up, that's going to help them a lot. And Florida, remember, guys, that was a problem. Last year, under Billy Napier, was the first year where they actually won a few games at the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. They didn't win all of them. They needed to win all of them, but they didn't. But it was good to see that they were winning. And then when you see that they got most of that defensive line back, and I should have mentioned them because he was thrilled with the pass rush and on Saturday in that scrimmage. And he said, we got a lot of guys that can rush the passer and do some things there. So, I just think both sides of the line of scrimmage with so many guys back, if they can keep them healthy, that's a big plus for the Gators.
We were talking earlier, Kirby had interviewed him, and he's talking about the state of college football. And I apologize, I forgot the guy's name. Pretty famous coach, and he said that basketball is not the same. Everything has changed so much so quickly, it's not even the same game. Sometimes I wonder if Kirby will jump to the NFL within the next 5 years. I just don't see these guys staying at these jobs for more than 10 years anymore with the way things are in college athletics, unless they do what the NFL does, hire them as employees, have them under contracts where they can't jump around. The players have all the power. They can go out and get speeding tickets. They can do anything they want. They have all the power. You don't like it, we'll transfer and go play somewhere else. It's hard to coach them up. It's hard to be hard on them. This was the greatest. Athletics in college was the greatest thing across the board, especially football, a team sport. It took 11 people in every play to do the right thing to have success. The discipline you learn there, the work ethic, never give in, never give up. Those kind of days, that's what's hurting the sports, and it's hurting society. I just don't like it where the players have control of the coaches. And we used to think the coaches are the greatest thing in the world. What else? I mean, you're hearing Kirby say things. You're hearing these basketball coaches say anything. I don't know of any other thing that can save them unless they hire them and have them under contract, where they work for the university, they work for those coaches.
Yeah, and the players don't want that. The players have already said, "Oh no, we don't want to be employees. We don't want collective bargaining." It's interesting because I go back to a conversation we had right when all this NIL stuff was coming out that it was coming, and between you and I and Coach Manley that day, and one of you, I don't know which one of you said it, but said. The thing that's going to shift is the leverage by the players over the coaches, and you can't have that and keep a locker room intact. And I don't know which one of you guys said that, but I remember that. I thought That's exactly right. That's precisely what's happening.
Did you think it was pretty good what was said? It was me then. If it sounded stupid, it was Glenn.
Jeez. Well, I just got a text from Coach Manda. He said it was him that said it.
It probably was.
But one other thing, kind of to your point, Coach. Billy Napier talked about the spring game, and he said, we're looking forward to it. He goes, we're going to get out there. We're going to have a good time. He said, we want the fans to come out, and they want and to show off a little bit and show them what's going on. He is really kind of polar opposite. And then these other coaches who are dialing everything back or canceling the game or whatever. And I believe he's doing this because he is so convinced that he has built a tight-knit culture at Florida that he won't have a mass exodus for the transfer portal by guys who don't look like, as they've gone through spring practice, that they're going to be starting.
Right. Well, you brought it up. So Dion and the coach from Syracuse, they wanted to play a game. The NCAA said no. They wanted to get together and practice again. And you got two former NFL guys coaching. They were going to do it kind of like they did in the NFL. We were talking about this earlier, us three. Do you see one day where spring practice is gone, where we don't have it? It's so screwed up. You got coaches who want to have spring games. You got coaches who don't want to have spring games. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's really bananas. I mean, and again, we know these coaches are getting inundated by the transfer portal, by players coming up to him on a weekly basis and saying, "Hey, I need more money. I need to get more money, coach." You know, and that's the sad thing. If these guys want to coach, they want to coach. They want to develop. They want to build. And when you got guys threatening to leave or I need more money, and i.e., you know what that means. If I don't get more money, there's a good chance I may leave. It's just a bad state of affairs for college football, college basketball.
Yeah. The thing too is, used to when you went to school, what's wrong with just getting your education? And if you're good enough to be in the pros, then that's what you went. But now you don't even have to make it in the pros. You've already made your $2 or $3 million. So if you don't make it, you already have an investment.
Yeah, you're right. And the parking lot shows. You go out, the last few years, you go out to the University of Florida, and I mean, Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger, Ford Mustang, new four-wheel drive, Ford Mustang. I mean, whereas it used to be some clunkers, a few new cars, and maybe some 5-year-old, 6-year-old trucks. And now it's a new day and age. And these guys, even some of the other guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're doing okay.
You know what changed it was when it started getting publicized how much money all these programs generated. Because coaches always, relatively speaking to the times, did pretty well. But everybody else who started making big money and all the money the universities would get and plow into all this stuff. And, at some point, you have to understand players going, hang on now, video game companies are making multiple millions of dollars, and the universities are getting all these millions of dollars, and administrators getting all these millions of dollars, and coach, at least he's out there with us. It's not shocking to see how we got here. It doesn't mean it's any less disappointing, but that was when it turned, when everybody started seeing how many hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars were generated.
That's true. That's true.
Well, Mark, I hope the games are great and competitive. This Florida-Auburn game, real quick, do you think it's going to be a real close ball game, or do you see one team winning by double digits?
I think so. The familiarity is going to be real interesting in there. And Johni Broome, of course, fabulous player. I think the inside battles are going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then those guards are going to be fun. The good thing for Florida, they get another week back for Alex Condon on that ankle because, guys, he was not the same guy last weekend that he was before that injury.
Mark, we'll talk to you next Wednesday. Thank you, buddy. Have a good day.
Take care.
All right, we're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Here are your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show. You're listening to the Inside Drive live.
The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves win it!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPN.